I know how to get to 10x now, not 50%. I know how to grow 1,000%.
Welcome, the one and only Sam Page.
Thank you. Thanks for chatting with me.
Sure, man. I appreciate you doing this. I wanted to give people who are considering working with me a sense of like what might happen or what might they get.
And so what we do is we build, grow, and also buy e-commerce brands. One of the big ones is memories and milestones. And so we've helped people share their memories and milestones.
So what was it that brought you to coaching? Was it a problem you wanted to solve or a big goal that you had?
And I kind of felt like I was on an island as an entrepreneur, and I really needed this independent advice and / someone who like I could talk to about the challenges of the day-to-day and help me think through them, but like someone who isn't mired in all the day-to-day details. And so the analogy that I've always heard and believed in is like, well, I don't know, professional athletes have coaches. So if I want to be the best CEO I can be, how could I not have a coach? Another big part of why I originally reached out was I felt like I was a manager of my business and not a CEO, because I was really keeping myself in the day-to-day too much and not thinking big enough and not figuring out how I could actually grow and scale.
Right. So I'm hearing some different pieces there. You felt like an island and didn't want to be an island. It sounded like you wanted another brain to bounce things off and to help. And also a brain that wasn't in the woods with you, wasn't mired, that had the clarity of distance. Okay, that makes sense. And then it sounds like one place you wanted to head is you identified that you were a manager, you had a job, but you wanted a different job. You wanted to up level and upgrade so that you were, I assume, more leveraged in what you're doing. Yes. And have a thriving team that's doing the work that you were doing.
Yeah, and it was the only path to scale. Like if I was the manager, we were capped at my capacity. And if I wasn't able to step out of that role and step out of it effectively and think about how to grow and lead the team and set goals and execute on those goals, we were just going to be a no-name, little business, that was going to maybe grow a couple percentage points a year, but like we would never achieve what we thought we could.
You told me before this interview what your dream was.
I was on this path where I was like, okay, how am I going to do this and grow 25 or 50%? That's the best I could think of. That's the highest ceiling I could think that I could get to by myself. Within 2 or 3 weeks, the brand vision came to me. Within 2 or 3 weeks of working with you, the brand vision came to me. And I thought, I know how to get to 10x now, not 50%. I know how to grow 1,000%. How fast do I get there? And then you and I start talking about this, and we're starting to put in those actual building blocks of like, okay, well, you can't get 1,000% in a year, but can you get it in 3 years? Can you get it in 5 years? Okay, well, what do we need to do in 3 years? What do we need to do in 2, 1, 12 months, 12 weeks, 7 days? Like we broke all that whole process down. And so like, there was the epiphany moment, and that made me think, okay, I have to become this CEO that I've been dreaming of. Now I know my purpose.
I want to get to time, freeing up time.
I've removed myself from all day-to-day emails of anything that's going on, a shipment and order. My team tells me exactly what we should order, what our inventory positions are. Someone else is managing our marketing. And so I would say, I wouldn't say I work any less, but I would say I do 20 or 30 hours a week less of things that my team now does.
Got it.
Well, one conversation we did have was, you're candid, and you said, look, if you don't work with me, you're still going to be successful. And it's kind of like, but what can we do together that's the interesting piece. And it's far exceeded my expectations. And so it's kind of funny because I have friends who I tell everyone that I have a coach. I'm actually quite proud of it, right? Because it says, you can say, I need help, and I'm getting a professional to help me be better, and so everyone's always like, how's it going? Do you like him? Is it worth it? Is it, because they're all thinking like they want one too, right? But they're kind of hesitant about it. And I'm like, within 2 weeks, I had a brand vision and a 10x path that didn't exist. In the last 6 months, I've been thinking about this every day. And then 2 weeks into it, my mind opens up. And so it's just like, I'm like, I don't know, if you want mental roadblocks removed.
That's a really good point, because I don't work with people who need coaching. That's not fun for me. Some people do, and that's fine. But I don't work with people who need coaching. I work with people who want coaching. You're going to be successful anyway. Coaching should be an accelerant in my world. Last question for you. Who would you recommend my coaching program to?
If you want to move faster and have a better mental game for running a business, you want to work with David.
That's awesome, man. Thank you so much. I really, I'm so happy for your wins. I have no idea what the future wins are going to be, but I'm looking forward to those too. And listeners, if something in here resonated with you and you want more money, more time off, and you want to be even more extraordinary than you are now, and that's what really lights me up, then apply for the coaching program and we'll talk. All right. Thanks, Sam.